Ready to connect.
All right. Technical difficulties, people, but here I am. But that's why this is shit happens, right? Shit literally happens. And I'm glad when this happens, my guests are actually podcasters.
However prepared you are, technology can decide to do whatever it wants to do with you, and you can't do shit about it. You just gotta be patient and keep on going. So, for those who joined me an hour ago, I was hanging out with Heather. Thank you. Right now, I have this person who's such. I literally can call him my mentor because it's a whole emotional thing which I'm gonna get into. But we're gonna talk about something he recently just did, and I feel like um, you need to give people their flowers while they can still receive them. So with that, I don't know why my stupid speaker won't just switch off. There we go. Okay, shit happens. I'm gonna go ahead and bring on our guest. Where's my guest? There we go. At this stage, uh, I'm not used to doing this on the phone, so I'm like, where are the buttons? And where, when you're so used to doing it on the screen, you're like, oh, it's easy to do that. Mark, welcome to Shit Happens. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Paula. Good to be with you again. I guess I've done this one other time before with Nick, but so it's nice to do this just one-on-one this time.
And also, technically, that was Talk Shit with P. We're on Shit Happens right now. So,
Right. That's true. That's true. Good point.
how are you doing today? I know I just had you in my ears at 7 o'clock, but how are you doing
I'm doing
since
great.
then?
I'm doing great. Doing that daily morning show that we do, I want selfishly, one of the main reasons why I do it is it really sets my day off on the right foot. I feel, where I'm working with podcasters all the time, to have that hour to kind of plug myself back in after a night's rest, it does wonders for me. And just watching people's progress and their wins and even sometimes their struggles and helping them through it, that's just such a great way for me personally to start my day.
That's the truth. Believe it or not, for me too. Like even though sometimes I might be very sleepy because literally on Sunday I didn't go to sleep until 4 because I was creating content and I was on a roll and I was like, I need this content to be out, and I didn't go to bed until 3. And then I was like, oh my God, I need to go sleep because 7 o'clock I need to be up to the room. And even though I woke up at 7, because sometimes I do end up going back to sleep while you guys are like I'm listening, like your voices are so soothing that it gets me back to sleep. But it's always also a way for me, like even if I'm sleepy or anything, once I'm in that room, I don't go back to bed literally like I might doze for 5-10 minutes, but I'll be like, okay, I've been motivated. I need to go do some shit. I need to go get some shit.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea. Not just for me, it's to help other people get motivated, get empowered to go out there and accomplish all those things that they've been sitting on for a while and not sure what to do with it. We're trying to give people that power to be able to go out and do whatever it is they're looking to do with their podcast.
By the way, we have Doug Lemon on here. Good, he says good morning in Lemon stamps. I love Doug, even though he lives in Atlanta. I only get to see him when podcasters meet up. So,
Mm.
Doug, I hope to see you end up. Speaking of that, if anybody on here watching Atlanta, we have our podcasters meetup, which I will be hosting in February 29th. What better way to end February? And it's going to be on a Thursday, which is my favorite day of the week. Did you know
And
that, Mark?
I didn't know that, but did you know that that'll also be leap year that day?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Because finally, I noticed it after I posted this meme. Right? I promise not to. I will take day off from drinking or something on that, and then it said on February 29th, 30, and 31. But because those dates are normally not, and I realized, oh my God, we actually have 29th this year.
Yep.
So I feel like I chose a very perfect way to bring in this community because it's the month of love. February started on Thursday, it's ending on Thursday, it's a leap year. It's just like I feel good. I feel like this meetup will be a blast again because I'm hosting it. But enough of that, because it's not about me today. So, Mark,
Mhm.
um, I'm all about giving people their flowers and recognizing, and that's what also the Empowered Podcasting Room is, because you guys have lately have been pouring so much. I mean, you have always poured, but lately it's been so much love poured on me, and there's something about people, whether it's the community you're in or just your friends or family, noticing the work you've been putting and seeing the growth you have endured. Because, you know, half of the time, most of us who started podcasting, people just laughed at us and thought it was like a passion, like you're wasting your time doing that. Oh, your little passion. Oh, you want me to listen to your little podcast. So, and then now to look where I've come with this little passion, little podcast of mine, it's beyond incredible. And I owe half of that to the empowered community. I've been attending it for 1 year now. It's amazing how I've literally been committed to 7 o'clock Monday to Friday 1 year, and then recently been committed to the Friday night chat. Like, I love my Friday night chat, even, and that shows the commitment I have, because I was at a party at Podfest. It was an amazing party. There was free alcohol for 30 minutes by the Mopar boys, and yet I took time out to go and jump in and hang out with my Friday night crew. But that shows that what you have built, because you have built this, you have grown this, you have poured into this, and that's why we are also pouring. We see how much you have done. So first of all, I want to say thank you for giving me a family that whether I'm too loud, whether for whatever reason they love me, and when I'm not in the room, they check on me. Where, like, even you, Mark, you'll be texting me like, I didn't see you today. Are you okay? Like, you know, Amanda, see the love they share, the support. Dominic, Stacy, oh my God, I don't want to miss out anyone. Even my annoying little brother Nick, you know, and now we get to witness Nick and Matt being parents. Like it really is a family that we are going through this journey of life together. So I just want to say shout out to you for doing that. And out of curiosity, this is where the conversation is going. And when I told you I had a perfect conversation for you, is
Yeah.
how did you stumble? I want to know your story, your journey with this Clubhouse, right? Because I don't think, maybe you've shared it before in the room and I was never there. I know I've had bits and pieces, but we all know most of us started Clubhouse, of course, during COVID, right? And then a lot of us left, right? You literally bringing people back. Like, I mean, Walter came back to Clubhouse because of you. So I want to hear your journey. Like, how did you end up in Clubhouse? How did you end up in Empowered? How did you end up continuing that group? And what made you, like, because it's hard to keep up, especially some days when you feel discouraged, there's not a lot of people in the room. It really can break you and be like, you know what? Nobody fucks with Clubhouse anymore. I'm done also, and give up, right? But you kept on going and you keep going to producing more stuff, which we're going to get into. But let's start there.
Yeah, good question. And thank you and you're welcome as well. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, with Clubhouse, it was something that I got to a little bit later in the game than most people did during the pandemic, but I think I was still kind of in there at the earlier stages. Somewhere early 2021, I think, was when I joined, and I had already been podcasting for years. So I figured this would be such a great fit for me, doing a live platform, basically similar to podcasting, live podcasting. So I thought this would be perfect for me. And I jumped in, I started exploring it. I thought it was a really cool concept, and I was terrified to use it, to actually participate, to get up on stage and share my thoughts and opinions. I can't explain why, because like I said, I'd literally been doing it at that point probably for 15, 16 years. So, I was getting angry at myself, like, Mark,
And it
you've got
was
a
just
microphone. You can do this.
And it was just audio. It wasn't like you have to be on camera, right?
No, yeah, it was, I'll tell you now, looking back, I can tell you it was fear of being judged. I was afraid that people would shoot me down for my opinions or shoot me down for my my insights on podcasting or whatever it was we were talking about. And I think that was a big, big reason for it. I was just afraid what people would think. And, you know, this is something that I deal with when I'm working with my clients, when they're just starting a podcast. They're oftentimes, they know they have a message they want to share, but they're terrified to actually open up their mouth and say it. So I can definitely relate to that, even though I've been doing this for so long. It wasn't until I think I was in a room, it was probably about personal development, which is one of my personal passions. And I don't remember anymore what the question was, but there was a question asked that inspired me to finally get up and participate. And after that, then I had the bug. Then I wanted to start chiming in on all sorts of conversations. I wanted to really experience what that app was all about, and eventually found a room that, similarly to what we do now, just around it, the only difference was it was around personal development, personal growth, where we were talking about content creation, but they were doing it every day. They actually did it 7 days a week. Every day they started at 6 in the morning. We start at 7 in the morning, and they went for about an hour and a half. And I just joined, and again, first would listen. I like to kind of observe and take in what's going on first before I actually participate. Want to make sure it's the right vibe for me. And they were the right vibe. I was definitely vibing with them. And so I eventually started speaking, and it was kind of like you, Paula. I found it as it was an excuse to get up early in the morning. I was already working in a morning routine, and this just helped me with that routine and staying committed to that routine. So before I knew it, I was one of the leaders of that group. I was a moderator of that group, and I was helping build a community. And unfortunately, after I'd say around a year or so, that community ended up folding. The guy who was running it decided to go in a different direction. And then I was feeling really lost again. I felt like now I need a place to go to have that reason, another reason to wake up in the morning. And I wasn't finding anything. And then it just hit me, why aren't I just doing it myself then? Which is a lot of times what happens with me. Oftentimes I try to force myself into a situation and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. And I tend to force it a little too much. But I think what then happens for me is I recognize, well, you know what? If I don't like what's going on, I'm just going to do it myself. So I started the podcasting morning chat. Now, it was a thing before I started it, but it had also came apart basically and stopped. So I restarted it with the help of one of the original members of that group. And we really did build it up pretty much from scratch. A few of the people from that community had come back, but then it was up to me to really build it up from there. And that's exactly what I did. Paula? So I don't know if I'm still live for Paula. I should go look on Instagram. I'm going to look on Instagram and see if I'm live. Let's see. I'm looking here, stand by. No, it doesn't look like we're still live. Not at least on Instagram.
I am